Hi, Becky. Yeah, I know. When I read that, I had to go, wait, yeah, okay. I'm streaming for Carol, and today is Tuesday, yes, and you stream on Wednesday. I think I got that right, right? Do you want to come on before anybody else gets here? I can shoot you a link. I'm kind of, kind of discombobulated. I don't know what you got going on this afternoon, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So thank you. We'll see if anybody finds me. I only posted. Oh shit! I did. Oh my god! I'm confused. See, Carol, look what you do to me. You just drive me. Oh lordy! People are gonna be confused, aren't they? Not that I'm not confused enough for all of us. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. Um, so I don't know what people are going to expect. Uh, Maybe this is it. And Carol, you're supposed to be working. Oh, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Yes, I'm confused, but I'm glad that you're unconfused. Um, Hi, Nettie. Yes, I made a mistake. Today is Tuesday, and apparently I said that I would be coming on Wednesday. So now Wednesday, no, Tuesday is Wednesday. So why not just lose whole days? And as long as people stumble their way in, I'm the one that's stumbling. And I haven't had anything to drink. I want you to know that. Not even a Bloody Mary. I am sober. Um, Honest to gosh. Hi, Sherry. And thank you so much for being here. Yes, today is Tuesday. And that means, yeah, well, yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday would be closer, right? But I'm trying. Yeah, we'll get it all squared away here in a couple of minutes as people um, enter into this room of doom. I guess I don't know whether how it is, and yeah, I'm still fuzzy, aren't I? Hi, Janet Hartz. Thank you for finding us and finding me. I am the pilgrim that is lost, wandering in the darkness, looking for a lit candle somewhere. I guess the room of doom. Yes, it's all good. Oh, hi, Lori. Thank you for being so understanding. Because I have no idea uh, what I'm doing, what I'm going to be doing, but it's okay to be lost amongst friends, right? I would rather be lost among you folks than any other folks around. Hi, Leah. Nice to see you. Um, Carol, I went into my. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did. Yeah, post it correctly, Janet. Oh, I'm so bad. I can see I'm fuzzy. I mean, literally fuzzy, not figuratively, or I'm both fuzzy. Um, it's Anne, not Carol. We can be snarky with Howder if we want. Yeah, well, yeah, she is the snark partner. And I tried to do something about my camera, but I guess I wasn't successful. I'm still fuzzy. I went into the thingy, but obviously I wasn't able to fix it. It's kind of like, see, that looks in focus. And then I come down here, it still looks in focus. I don't know how to fix it. So it looks fuzzy on my YouTube, but it doesn't look fuzzy on StreamYard. Looks good to you. That's great. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel a lot better. One less thing to worry about. That's good. All right. Well, I figured since I really need to read out of everything I needed to know I learned in kindergarten to calm me down, probably more than anybody else needs to listen. But I'm glad that, yeah, um, it is. I do have that right, though. Today is the 31st. It's just not Wednesday, right? Okay. I know. Where did January go? Gone. Amazing. I have no idea. And it's January 31st, and I should not be complaining. I should not be complaining, but it's hotter than hell here in Florida. And I'm trying desperately not to put the AC on, but that's a horrible thing to complain about because of all of the horror weather that's going on in the rest of the country. So, all right. I thought I'd start out with reading another short story, a short essay. Oh, you made a bridge page. Good for you. Good for you. I'm headed over towards the bridges. I thought I'd read a short story about taxi. Um, how many of you have ever been in a New York City taxi? Because it's quite the thrill. At least it used to be. I always thought that they could make especially today, they could make an amusement park, a virtual ride out of a New York taxi cab ride, because they can be harrowing, to say the least. So let's see what Robert has to say about Taxi. Plus, the TV series was awesome. Just saying. Okay. New York City, winter, corner of 52nd Street and Madison Avenue. Cold and windy, wildly windy. Traffic jam, slam tight. An ill-tempered mood plagues the streets. But me, I'm waving politely at taxis. Clearly, I'm from out of town. Yellow cab eases up in front of me. The driver, a massive black lady wearing a pink nylon jacket and black turban, barks at me. Don't mess with me expression on her face. She barks at me with a don't mess with me expression on her face. You want a ride or a date or what? Yes, I want a ride. So I get in the back seat. She turns and barks at me again. So, just where you going, my man? I'm going uptown, 91st and 5th. She laughs. Not with me, you ain't. Why not? The city is set like cement. Must be a 50-foot brick wall across Midtown. This town's always locked up for something. A parade of anything, retired dog catchers, the Ku Klux Klan, dentists, who knows what could be. His Blessedtude the Pope is still here. Could be the president is back in town. Could be Jesus Christ himself, for all I know. He's about the only one who hasn't been here this year. She laughs again, big laugh. So I can't get uptown? Not in this cab, not unless you go around by way of Chicago, but I'll take you downtown as far as you want to go. Wall Street, New Jersey, Florida, Rio de Janeiro. I mean, as far as you want to go, my man. We could have some fun going downtown, but not uptown. No way today. Thanks. I like your turban, by the way. What country are you from? Big laugh. The turban is just my hat. I'm from the country of New York City. Bred here, born here, grew up here, still live here. Can't get away from here and going to die here. But I keep thinking, somehow, someday, I'm leaving. But I know I'm dreaming. Maybe they'll stuff me and put me in a museum with a sign under me that says, here's the dumbest broad who ever lived. She should have left New York a long time ago and was too slow to go. How come you don't leave? Ain't you got a list of things you should have done a long time ago? Yes. Well, there's your why, my man. And the why there is. Who knows? Besides, it's dangerous and weird outside New York. Tornadoes and the woods on fire and bears and rednecks and born-agains and slow-talking people and beauty queens and cowboys and Indians and all that. I'd rather take my chances in New York. You still don't look very happy about it. Well, I've had a bad day, my man. Like I say, town's blocked up like somebody spilt glue on a cockroach convention. Weather's bad, but not bad enough. Too many people walking. The cab is running rough, and my boyfriend has run off with 2 other women, not 1, but 2. And my rent's way overdue. God is definitely not on my side. But hey, rain's over. You got to talk or ride? I should pay you just to drive me around and talk to me. But I've got to go uptown to a meeting, so I'll get out. Standing by her door, I make an offer. Here's $20, a gift to balance out a bad day. $20? It's not enough. Not enough? If you think $20 will pull me even with the craziness of New York City and the wrath of Almighty God, then you're weirder than you look, and you need the money more than I do. Here, take it. How much would pull you even? She thinks in amused silence, laughs, and holds out her hand. There's not enough money in the universe. Here, give me that 20. If I don't take it, what can I get? I'll never get nothing. I'm grateful, my man. Honking and waving and laughing, she charged off into the impossible traffic, more like the driver of a tank than a taxi, just possibly working her way uptown or beyond. Somehow, someday, onward. Attitude. It's all attitude. Another mermaid. All right, so he didn't get very far in a taxi, and nothing's worse than sitting in a taxi cab with that meter running and you not going nowhere. I have no idea what a cab would cost today. Oh my gosh, that would be so crazy expensive. Um, but it's quite the culture, taxi cab drivers and such. All right, so today is an unexpected gift, I guess I could say, to me, and unexpected maybe gift for you. We'll find out, right, sooner or later. And I have a whole bunch of stuff. We were talking about, collage a little bit, and I thought I would do maybe some flips of some collage stuff that I've done in the past and glue book stuff I've done in the past. Thanks, Nettie. I appreciate that. And thumbs ups, that would be awesome also. You've had a busy morning? Okay, well, I hope it's good busy and not, bad busy. I guess there is good busy and bad busy. So I started collaging. I guess it was Cage Fish that introduced me to this fabulous world of collage. And I want to go out and buy how-to books. And I mentioned the how-to books. And I went through my bookcases and I pulled out all my how-to collage books, folks. And there is a shitload of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're wanting 7 books on how to collage? Come on, Ann. You cut out a picture and you glue it down. Cut out another picture and glue it down and keep on moving. But no, no, no. There is a method to the madness of collage. Perspective and rhythm and composition and juxtaposition and all sorts of big, big words. Oh, getting your car towed, that is stressful. I hope you have some sort of coverage because that'll help, hopefully. Yeah, that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and that is very, very stressful. So this book here represents, now I hope you're impressed. I have the book, I have the collages, and I have the book that goes with these collages. That's a miracle. That doesn't normally happen. I just want you to know. Let's see if I can get that up a little bit. Is that better? Let's see. That back. So this book, I think, was one of the very first books that I bought. The collage workbook, How to Get Started and Stay Inspired. And Gail has a bunch of dental work in the next few months. Yeah, geez. Oh, I was in a car accident. Black ice. Oh, I hope he's okay. Okay, he is okay. Yeah, black ice is wicked. We have that in Florida, and it's very, it's scary. I've I've been in a couple of ditches due to snow when I lived up in upstate New York, but I'm glad he's okay. That's a horrible sinking feeling, isn't it, when you get that phone call and Mom, Dad, I'm okay, but I'm in a ditch. Can you come get me? Yeah. So not good. So we're sending you our best to get through this, and I'm happy that he's okay because that's the most important thing. So here's my collage workbook and Stay Inspired. So this is a pretty good book. And he's got prompts and an image library in the back. And it's a typical how-to book. He starts out with the tools. And let's see, this was published in, well, I don't know. It's got to be here somewhere. It was published a while ago. I know that's not very helpful. Oh, 2012. Wow, that's a long time ago, 2012. Oh, this is first. Yeah. I can remember my first, isn't it? And I've been driving for a few years, and I can remember my first accident, my first of many accidents. I don't want to jinx him or anything, and they were never serious. And my poor father, he would say, "God damn it, Ann, you have to be more careful." I'd go, "I know, Dad, I know." So it's a hard thing being a parent, and when they first start to drive. So my heart goes out to you. And hopefully this will be his only. So here's the collage workbook, and he's got prompts, right? Hi, Pam. And he's got 50 exercises, and I guess I followed many of them. And let's see. I think this was one of his. I can't get you. I guess I can't let you. Let's see. I don't know whether you can. Maybe I have to come up there. Yeah. Let's see. Is that better? I think. That's pretty much. So this is obviously a black and white collage. And this, yeah, challenge number 3, black and white. I did this 2018, May 30th. Look how organized I was. May 30th, 2018. Hi, Rosemary. So lovely to see you. And here is another challenge. And this was apply color to a primarily black and white collage, June 5th, 2018. And obviously I chose red. And this one must be, let's see, choose a color and create a monochromatic collage using various shades of that color, or mostly. And the name of this was Color Plunge. So obviously I did shades of blue and such. And this was White. White Out is the name of this one. This is just me. I thought this was funny. Hi, Ray. So lovely to see you. This little boy just had that little smirk, and I figured, well, I might as well give him a glass of whiskey and such. So this was, I titled this Trouble in the Making. And here's another one. I don't think this is, I can't do this, but I'm doing it anyway. I feel that way a lot. I can't do this, but I'm doing it anyway. And watching Carla collage. So this was a caged fish. I'm kind of glad I wrote notes. I don't do this anymore, but you know, that's not a bad idea. Pot pies. Ooh, yes. I used to make them from scratch. And these are just, now I get away from, trouble in the making. And then I don't know what I was doing here. And packaging and such. I stopped writing down what I was doing. And this one I titled Mother's Day, because we have the Madonna, and so I titled that Mother's Day. I don't know whether I did it on Mother's Day or not. Probably not. Let's see. And this book is really cheap paper, and I didn't realize how important the paper was. This, I have to tell you, this is probably this is probably one of my all-time favorite collages. I love this one. And it's all, I put a doorway up in a tree. I have a doorway in a tree now. And when I did that, I thought about this collage. And this is cut out. This is cut out. And this is the Marilyn Monroe, thing. But I like this one. Another little, that's a favorite. Don't ask me why. This one's kind of funky. You know, again, juxtaposition, different sizes. Let's see. This one is pretty, that one's okay. I like this one, again, because we have the guy that's the acrobat, and we got the little space dude. I have no idea what that is, nor that. There's David, Michelangelo's David. And this is another favorite here of this, with the little boy running. And this is all collaged in with the robot and the astronaut. This is another favorite of mine. And I've got an eyeball here, and it says, please, quiet, please. This is just horrible. Let's see. I don't know. That's a cat, obviously. This is kind of the change you want to be. Vote the change you want to see in the world. Let's see. After a day of not being able to create anything, that's what I wrote. And this is another favorite of mine. I have this Indian girl, abject poverty, and you have these Vogue models and such. And so I like that. Again, the picture of the models has been in my stash for about 6 months. This is a tracing I did of Michelangelo, and this is on my Facebook page. I just love it. One of my first tracings, got a chef, flower. This was just a sketch. You know, you start sketching, and this has got some gauze, and it just happened. It just turned out, you know how those things happen. And this was just, I took an ink pad, and I was, hi, Sharon, good afternoon. I had an ink pad, and I just went like this, and I saw this lady came out of that. I don't know. I mean, I just drew that. Why? I mean, there it is, just random, and I like her. This one's you start adding all this little stuff. You know, I put an elephant head on her. It's this is handmade paper that I made, and it's okay. I carved that stamp. Yeah, this is kind of silly. I covered up his cojones. And just to add a little collage with my little drawings from How to Draw Everything book. Okay. Here's a little kitty and hands. This was Yellow Pages. Whoops. That's got a bad word. Not that you haven't seen that word before. And let's see. I think we're almost... And this was a Mike Deacon's Mission Impossible, Mission Inspiration. Up, lad, when the journey is over, there'll be time enough to sleep. And let's see. No, that's it. Don't know if I'm better or not. I love this expression on this woman's face. It's just so like what they all, you know, you look at her face, it's kind of like, what else can go wrong? That's what she's saying to me. Hi, Kel. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And this is just a blob. So you can see this book has been around since, 2018. And, you know, that doesn't sound like that long ago, but it's like, what, 5 years ago? That just seems like insane, 5 years ago. Yeah. So a lot of these were inspired by this book. And again, this guy gives you a whole bunch of, Rosemary's in here. Rosemary. Does that look familiar? That's from you. And I was gonna show people Funky Fish. I feel like a little funk. And Rosemary is the creator of the caboodle, the first caboodle I ever did. And this was some of the handouts for that. And let's So that was the next thing on my list to show if you're up for it. I don't know whether Rosemary's still here. She may be in the background getting ready. Well, today's Tuesday. It's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday. But I bumped into Rosemary once upon a time. I don't know when. Oh, and there goes the funky fish. I had never done it. Oops, I just broke it. Oh my God, I'm breaking the shells and everything. And I'd never, I mean, I know what the word caboodle is, and I think that came from, yeah, I think caboodle came from Mr. Morris. If that, I'm not, if that, I think he said something about calling it the kitten caboodle, as I recall. I may have that story a little fuzzy, but I think Mr. Morris was involved in that. And this was called Funky Fish. And yeah, the hard thing to do is actually to find, the kitten, all the kitten caboodle, meaning the whole enchilada. And the hard thing really is to find stitched books. And so this book actually was a book on how to play golf. It's a great collage. Oh, thank you, Devin. Thank you so much. So fish, and I figured I would make like a hitch that you would see on a boat. So that's what I did. I made a, like, this is the type of hitch you would have on a boat, funky fish. So that's just, and Rosemary provides you with all the stuff really. And then you kind of put it together the way you see fit. And she talks about it, in her streams. She streams on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so all of this stuff really came from the kit. And then you kind of put it together. Be a mermaid and make waves. So I'm just gonna, and I made this. This is like a yellow, obviously yellow submarine. And this squid picture came out of a Fruit Toast magazine. And oh, I love this sound. I really do. Here's some gauze. And there's something that goes in there, and I don't know where it is. It must have swam away. And then again, these are all of Rosemary's whatnots, and then you kind of collage and put them together. And this was a pop-up. I love my little pop-ups. So he's fishing. That came out of a Flow book, I do believe. You can see that. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't that sound great though? And this is something Rosemary showed us how to do. This is with the glue guy. And I am to have a seafood restaurant menu. And I've got some tags in here. And these came out of Graphic Fairies. And I just cut those pictures out. And they go in here. And I love those swimming suits. Can you imagine how horrible those must have been? They were wool, and when they got wet, oh God. And this, so here's the rest of you can see the fish. I put the cat fish. And I guess this was some, I want to say deli plate, but I doubt I was deli plating back in the day. And this little came in the kit. And okay, this is and Rosemary always has something where you have something that moves. And so I had this guy. He's in here, and he's coming up to kiss her. And he goes back down again. So that was the movement. So he's kissing her. And then this fish is about ready to bite him. And so that was, and this is out of a orange bag. And that's the rest of the orange bag. And I got this big fish is in here. He's got caught in the nets. And this is this little pirate. This is me dressed up as a pirate when I was about 7 years old. And I have little photographs of me and family stuff, and use them a lot in my collages. And wow, she is something else. I don't remember making her, but she's got fancy boobs, and wow. And here's another little fisherman dude. I think I got a little carried away here with the little fishes. We stitched this. I think that was part of the thing. We stitched this. And this is I love this. This is a steampunk lady that is one of my steampunk books. And I love her because she's just she's got the knife. And he's yelling down, and I have the definition of FUCK. Found unlawful carnal knowledge. Those initials would be written after a sailor's name, or fornication under consent of the king on a marriage license. And then FUCK, everything, FUCK, everything, become a pirate. So I have that here. Again, this is an adult book. And here's some more journaling cards. And then here's a lot of these fishies. She's a mermaid, but approach her with caution. Her mind swims at a depth most would drown in. I love that. And then I made an articulated mermaid. Everyone was, so I cut her out, and I made her like a doll, she's pointing. So she folds up in here. I had so much fun with this. And she goes right in here. And thanks for depositing your cigarette butts properly. This is my brother was visiting, and this came with his pack of cigarettes, I guess. It's like a little butt thing. So I stuck that in here. All right. And this was stitched here. And then I made this is like, you caught a bunch of fish and you hung them up, and the cat's looking down at them. And then this little dude, deep sea diver, right? This little thing opens, and there he is in there. And then some more journaling cards. And let's see. And then I made, this is kind of steampunky, and I made these fish tank here. And this guy is just downright creepy. I have no idea what I was doing there. I don't remember. And let's see. Oops. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Well, pop cans. I love cutting up pop cans. And, this was a pop-up. You ready? I love my little pop-ups. Ta-da! Well, that's amazing. That still popped up pretty good, huh? Yeah. Ta-da! He's fishing, and there's the flying fish. And that goes there. That goes there. And I got some, I love this ad. This appears in Vogue magazines. This girl on the hook had some blown up stamps from the stamp catalog. And then this is from the Graphics Fairy. And there I am again. And then I made a TV screen. And people are watching them on TV. This was corrugated cardboard. And then this was some fancy, again, this opens like so. And then it says this book belongs to Anne C. Lahr. And then he said, this fun-filled, freaky, frivolous, fluky, funky fish folio is finny. Done. So that's my funky fish book. I love it. And it feels good. And I glossed it up. This is Mod Podge, shiny Mod Podge. And So I've done several other caboodles, and I've got several, and then this was all of this goodness was included in the kit. And, little, so I strung that all together on a line of those clips and added some other stuff. And I've done several others. Honestly, I think this is the only, oh, that's not true. I finished the cowgirl one. I have that in the other room. And then Rosemary did a industrial one. And I didn't buy the kit, but I did this is another thing about Rosemary. She is incredibly generous with her talent. She puts together these incredible kits that are just chock full of tons of stuff. But then she proceeds to do a how-to, and she gives you so much information and inspiration, frankly, that you may have a lot of that stuff and you may opt not to buy her kit, but she gives you enough information and instructions so that you can go out and really do your own thing without buying the kit, and which I think is, again, extremely generous of her. And with that said, this is one of the ones, I just happen to have this here, that I didn't buy the kit. However, I was inspired to do the industrial one. And again, that's with that silver tape. And I just highlight, embossed it and everything. And this was made out of, as I recall, it was made out of a file folder. And again, I had a file folder, and Rosemary, yes, and that's one I did not buy. But I thought I had enough stuff to do that one. I have the Renaissance one, which I didn't finish. No, I think I finished. I did the funky fish, the cowboy one I finished. This is the industrial one. And again, I just kind of followed and had my own stuff. I had a lot of steampunky stuff that I just kind of put in here. And I had a lot of like steampunky type of pictures. There's a guy. And I made some of these kind of things that I learned from Ava, Bohemian Crafting. Put some tags on this one. And these are famous pictures of these guys. This guy's drinking while they're building like the Empire State Building. He's out on an I-beam. I had a lot of those pictures. These are some things that I made, grunged up. I don't know if you've ever seen this picture, but I had a poster, a gigantic poster of this hanging in my classroom. And these guys were literally building the Empire State Building, and they were on their lunch break, sitting out on the beam. And there were some of them that actually had flasks in their hands. So that was an interesting. So this is some, again, let's see. And this is something from, let me see, this opens like, well, it used to open. Pulled this, and this opens like this, and this. Sometimes when you have the moving parts, they kind of don't move as well as they used to. Yeah, and this is another moving part thing. I really like moving parts things and interactive journals. And here's some more stuff. And let's see, I have a moving one too. Let's see. Okay. Let me get to it. That's a big, oh wait. Let's see, and this opens on this side. And then this guy's, it's playing golf. Crinkly paper. And then it goes, I guess it opens this way. That's it. All right. I think that's right. Yeah. And then it opens this way. It's like this. So I've got some pictures here. This is actually family pictures. My grandfather and his wife. And I don't know who two of these ladies are. This is my ex-father-in-law's father. This is my grandfather, my two grandfathers. And this is my mom and my mom. And I turned these into cabinet cards. Oh, no, I think you can get those things where you can make your own cabinet cards. And that's my mom and my mom. I love this picture of her. I was taken in St. Augustine in 1937, maybe. Here she is again. She's very glamorous. This is my mother's maternal grandparents, Margaret and Abelard. And Margaret, this woman here, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 children. And I don't know whether you can see in this picture, but look at the size of her waist. I guess you can't really see that. She's got a little tiny waist. And she was one tough broad. I'll tell you what. She worked up in the Yukon, Canadian Yukon, in a lumber camp as the cook. Abelard was part Brule Indian, and her family were Scotch Presbyterian doctors and lawyers, and they disowned her when she married him. And okay, this is another picture. This is my grandfather here. They look like a bunch of ruffians. That was taken up in the Bronx. And this is my moving. So I made this was it's kind of supposed to be an elevator with a robot in it. And I don't know whether, I guess it kind of works. Yeah, kind of. But that was a robot in the elevator. And this little thing kind of moved. So that was the moving part in this one. Let's see. And I think that's it for this one. But again, this was very interesting. You take the file folder and fold it. And I had a lot of this stuff. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed making this one. So this was the, it's interesting how old folders are decent. I know. I have my whole, I could put together a whole kit. And when I moved, I threw out hundreds of photographs, but there was a handful of these that I saved. And if one of these days, if I figured out how to digitize them, I could send them out as, people have Timmy people. Well, I've got Annie people. I guess we call them Annie people. And I've got tons of them. Well, not tons of them, but that's a good part of them. So, but that was the industrial one in which I didn't buy the kit. But again, Rosemary provided enough information and enough how-tos that you could, if you collected that stuff, you could easily put that together without a problem. And that's what's so cool. So how are we doing? Are we doing okay? You want to see some more? Or hi, Safia. Hope you're feeling better. They look like her sisters. Yeah. I have some more if you're hanging in there. I can show you some other more glue books than something like, not like this is like a plan, premeditated. I'll call that premeditated. And I'll show you a couple of more collage books, just so I'm not kidding when I said I had so many of them. I couldn't live without this one. I don't even think I've really even done anything. But look, we're supposed to get serious about collage. I haven't gotten serious about it. So here's another one, acrylic mediums. So I should pull this out one time and we could just do one of these, right? More, please. Oh, thanks, you Pam. Then in the collage magazine that I subscribe to, that you guys are familiar with, they recommended some how-to collage books. And lo and behold, I had one. And there's this one. If you can cut, you can collage. And this is, again, basic, really super basic stuff on composition, substrates, paper. And then in the back, they have a whole bunch of exercises that you can do. And I think it would be fun just to get a cheapo book and just go through and do all the exercises. Negative space. This is a really good one. Well, they're all good. This is one that I bought recently. And again, I haven't done anything. Hi, Dana. Oh, okay. Good to see you, Violet. Collage your life. That's kind of dramatic. But this is another one is very highly recommended. And I do believe that I was enabled by Dee Dee for this one. I'm sure it was Dee Dee for this one, for sure. And this is a beautiful, beautiful book. And this warrants spending some serious time in. And you're probably going to see this again. Practice takes practice. I like that. Practice takes practice. That's a pretty cool expression. And again, color basics, and I can't have enough of this. I need so much of stuff. I need this so badly because it won't stick. I don't know. It just won't stick. But fortunately, they do a nice job in here. I'm finally starting to understand complementary and split complementary. But this book is just stenciling, making stencils, stamps. So this has got it all. It's got it all. Detail work. Let your light shine. So we've got prompts. Maybe we can do these, we can do the prompts. We all love prompts. And so this has got prompt stuff in here. So yeah, this will be a fun one to play in. I've probably had it for over a year. See, I love this kind of stuff where you do the juxtaposition. And, that's the kind of stuff I really enjoy. This one is, I know this was inspired by Dee Dee. This is handmade collage. It's okay. You cut these out and then you glue them down and you make a collage. I don't find this, and then they tell you exactly how to do it, which is fine. I got nothing, but for some reason, this just does not speak to me. I mean, it's got a lot of neat stuff, but this is really little tiny stuff to be cutting out. Yeah, Dee Dee gets his, oh man, well, I don't know. Kathy and Colleen are right up there. They are right up there. I was sitting on my hands during Kathy and Colleen's stream today, and I even said I feel some enabling coming on, but I managed not to go over to Amazon. And so this kind of basically, this, and then you go cut it all out, and then so I think I did this one. I think I may have done this one with the little mouse. So this one doesn't, again, it doesn't do much for me, but there it is. Now here's another one. I'm going, my God, more? Obviously, this one did speak to me because I've got a whole bunch of stuff cut out here that I haven't done anything with. So I'll have to go back and revisit this. 50 projects to spark your creativity. Do you notice how a lot of these books are all about, hi, Barb, they're all about sparking you? I wish they would just have, maybe title it, how to, light a fire under your ass book. They could just say that, just light a fire under your ass book. Most of the art journaling ones, yeah, I'm trying to do that too. I haven't bought anything. I haven't. Look, it has a nice little folder for use. stick stuff in. Project collage. See, they're all basically saying the same thing. Again, color. Actually, I love this, just with the little cat, you know. And there's one in here that I did. I love this one. I love it when you take different parts of buildings and stuff. I think that's one that I really like. Kaleidoscope. This is really nice. The grid. Spaces. Oh, look, that's cool. Just punch a bunch of holes and punching holes. And then you take the... I've done some of those. See, I love that. That's the kind of stuff that I... And there's one here that I did because I don't have it. But, oh, look, Becky. There's our matchboxes. And that was in that other little tiny... Becky and I have the same little tiny... We have this tiny little collage book also. But I did something. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kimberly. Lovely to see you. Oh, look, mirror cats. And this is a good one. Paintbrushes. But there was one in here, if I can find it. Well, there's no sense I can find it, but I can't show it to you because I made it as a birthday card and I sent it away. I make birthday cards, but just for my family, my immediate family. They're very personal and they take me forever to make. So that's why I usually remember to take pictures of them. So this guy cut up the highway, and this was one of their exercises, which I thought was kind of cool. You just cut out different, and this is all just out of magazines. And obviously there's a Timmy girl. I could have used one of my peeps. And anyway, I was probably going to cut out some of this little stuff. I love this kind of little, it must be out of, oh, that's bizarre magazine. Yeah, here's this with the bookmark in it. But this one's got a lot of neat stuff, mixology. This is a good one. Again, 50 projects to spark your creativity. Light my fire. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Whoops, sorry. And then finally, this is the last one. Storytelling with collage. So collage your life. Bye, Rosemary. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate seeing you. Techniques for layering color and texture. So this one's got a Windows on my world. It's got some cool stuff in here too. Again, all ideas. Collage with color. Collage with nature. I mean, none of this is earth-shattering. None of this is new. Here's some stitching. I'm starting to do a little bit more stitching, which I love. I think that's just what a beautiful element that adds to collage. So I have a few of these books. I should use them more. So this is the rest of the books. And now let's see how well I've put that to use. Shall we? These are, I would not call these collage books. I would call these glue books. And this one was made, this is probably one of the very first I made. Again, I wish I had dated it. And this is out of, I think it was a couple of magazines. I'm not sure. Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up, folks. That would be awesome. Again, we got some crinkly stuff. And I have an affection for this one. I don't know. Sometimes you do this. Took me forever to fill this. And you can kind of see always with honor. Soldiers there. You can kind of see where you can see some of the influence of some of the collage books, where I have, little pieces and, big, again, some of the, you can see the influence. This was a stamp I must have made. Let's see. I haven't done anything with this page, nor this page. I can come back. Oh, look. Starbucks. Collage that. And this is, I love the crinkles. So here's some Seek Yourself. This is, again, more of a glue book than a collage. This may be considered a collage, this here. I guess it's a fine line as to what how you interpret what that means. I guess but these are, see, this is one of those funky ones where you take, weird stuff. This is instructions for a stool. Sometimes I like to, save the instructions from things and then use those in collage. Again, here's a little Timmy dude. And this is some little watercolor I did. Here's another one of those. Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I guess, I would call this a collage. This is paper pasting, and this is from Shell C. I learned that, she does that quite a bit, and this is my attempt at one of Shell C's paper pasting pieces, where she cuts out little, I'm kind of doing that a little bit now, and this is kind of supposed to be a bird of paradise, and I have the bird of paradise big plant growing in my front yard, and this was done in 2017. I dated it. Date your stuff, folks. You'll be happy you did. And you go back and look at it. 6 years ago. I did this 6 years ago. I should keep on doing that, right? I don't know. I stopped. Okay, here are the directions to putting this stool together. And I added some Timmy people to the stools. And that's just kind of a hands. I always love just doing hands. I made this. Made a little. That's a brand of journals. Here we have Timmy people and hands. I love, again, doing hands. Those are cool, fun to do. I love that sound. I got a little carried away with this. Probably just a tad carried away with the background. And this is a Mike Deacon Mission Inspiration. He does these December 1st, 2017. He does two a month now. He's got a mid-month one, but this is prompts from his mission. He calls it Mission Inspiration. And you can see obviously the influence of Timmy paraphernalia and ephemera. This is a stamp that I made out of that foamy stuff. I carved it out of foamy stuff. 2018. And again, I like the ones that kind of open up. Let's see. Is it going to open? Yeah, it's going to open this way. So this goes this way. Some cartoon characters. And I can't remember. There's the Eiffel Tower. Can't remember what magazine that came out of. But it's fun when you have those things that open up, and then you can keep on. Oh, I love it. A little oriental. This should open up, I think. Huh? Yes. Well, it should open, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't want to. Oh, here it goes. Ted Danson. I don't know. It should open up. Oh, here. No? What? Oh, there it goes. All right. Here's little Martin Luther King. No, Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King. Excuse me. All right. So that just keeps on giving. I guess I was, so that goes like so, and so. Actually, this should probably go in here like so, so. And so. And that's a foamy die cut thing. And well, I guess I didn't. I covered up her so she wasn't naked. And here's some more Timmy stuff. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time. Oh, that's deep. Deep, deep, deep. I like this one. That one's wild, right? Okay. How we doing? Whoops. Can't see that. Sometimes, see, I kind of like that. I really kind of like that. Bye, Devin. Thank you so much for stopping by. I so appreciate it. I really do. See, there's something I like that. Just something about that I like. Looking back on it, got some birds and rocket ships, and Timmy people. Speaking of birds, I looked out and on the pond was a whole flock of. Was that a dark kind of? Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, you have to have those every once in a while, and that's where you put them in, and then you just, there was a whole flock of pelicans that came swimming up the pond, and then the other day there was just one lone pelican. I always feel sorry when there's only one bird because then something's happened to their mate, but this was a whole bunch of them. And they swam up and they turned around and swam back away. So I guess I must have had a bird thing going here and circles. And I have no idea why that picture appealed to me, but it did for, Oh, and here's some Joss paper, Josh, Joss. Oh, and there's that picture again. I use that a lot because I really like that picture. He lived with us, and he would scare my friends away because he was your grumpy old man. I guess I was doing some foldy thing here. And this opens up here. So I usually and again, this is all junk mail. I like, I call her not Johnny Walker. She's, I guess, Joanne Walker. I don't know. And here's me again. Oh, look, I made an enhanced paper clip with a Johnny Walker bottle. Isn't that cute? I happen to have a bottle of that in my liquor cabinet. Some other stuff. Oh, that's the best, right? Remember the Extreme? Can't find that anymore. We saw them earlier. I think I had them in another. Again, the same magazine, Bizarre, Vogue. No, you never run out. No, I've made whole journals just out of junk mail. I like this here with this dude, and there's my David and Rodin's Thinker. I really like that composition. I like this. It's okay, Lily. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. This guy in his zoot suit in a blender. She's really limping. Oh my gosh. I don't remember the other night when I was streaming. I guess it was Sunday. I would maybe comment. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I commented on the fact that she had the zoomies, that she was, tearing behind me. She was running back and forth, jumping up on furniture, turning around, jumping the whole, running the whole, and the house is not. And then now she's limping. So I think she really hurt herself. I'm hoping that it'll unhurt herself. Here's the boule. little black and white. And this was I think that was a mission inspiration. Seek and you shall find the future. Again, this is the Steampunky, created 2018. I like this one too. This was a painting in a book in an art magazine, which I attempted to copy. And actually, I didn't do too bad a job. That's 2018. And some more stuff. Smiles of Joy. There's that little boy that I used in that one collage. Oh, here. See this here? That's that. This, my attempt. It was an advertisement for, obviously, colored pencils. So, there. I need to do that more. Someone else was talking about who was setting up. The only junk mail I'm getting is credit card crap. Yeah, I get a lot of that too. The only good thing, well, some of them you get the little cardboard cards, but they're pretty crappy now. I don't get as much as I used to get. See, this is horrible, but seize every opportunity with attitude. I like that, but this is horrible. And leading by example, you are awesome. Here's doing it right, the view. This, I think, this is New Wheat, right? New Wheat. I think this was a New Wheat, because this reminds me of White Trash Notes. I have a cookbook that's called White Trash. It's called White Trash. It's a White Trash cookbook, and these recipes. It's a legitimate cookbook, but the recipes are hysterical. I mean, I don't think they're meant to be funny, but they are. I used to collect, I read cookbooks. I don't have many because I gave them all away when I moved to Florida. But again, this is some stamps that I made, some fish stamps. Let's see, what's this in here? This is a fashion magazine, and I just like the fashion. It's so not me, but every once in a while, you don't have to be you. You can be something else. I drew this. This actually, if you know, maybe Barbara Clark would recognize it, but this and this and this is from Linda Berry book, the syllabus book, this character. I copied that. That's Linda Berry. I remember that. Food. Time spent with cats is never wasted. You can see, oh yeah, you can see the shimmery cat in there. Yeah. Something that I just open. Seriously, the end. I have a stamp that just said seriously. And I bought it because I really wanted it. I really wanted to stamp it on when my students would hand in a piece of crap. What they would do occasionally, actually a lot. I would like to take that stamp and just stamp seriously on it, but I knew I would get in trouble. So I stamp seriously in my art journals instead of on their papers. White trash? Okay, just wait 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere if I can get out of here without breaking a leg. Lily, don't get up. I'm not feeding you. When I moved down here, I must have given away at least 50 cookbooks. Why I kept this one, I have no idea. I did. I don't know why. Um, but I kept this one. And the recipes are, this, and they're not meaning this in a derogatory term. They're just, let's see. Well, no sense in being a heckler when she doesn't read the chat. Who's heckling? I don't want to know. And so the recipes, I'll just, Uncle Willie's swamp cabbage stew. The Duchess's baked beans. Bonnie's black-eyed peas. Better baked fish. Salmon pie. I don't know about that. Day-old fried fish. There you go. Day-old fried fish. Cold and pickled. Ooh, I don't know about that. Pickled fish? Ooh. Who do you think, your brat friend? Oh, Carol. Carol? No. Oletta's Brown's Pie Crust. I love them. I mean, just the names of the recipes are Resurrection Cake with whiskey sauce, Mammy's Date Cake. But I saved this one. This one came down. This one made the move from New York to Florida. How about post office cookies? Well, you are snotty, Carol. Let's face it, you are snotty most days. Not snotty in attitude, but snotty in being literally full of snot. No offense. Post office cookies. Oh my God. 1 1/3 sticks of Oleo, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of chopped nuts, 1 teaspoon of McCormick's vanilla extract, and 2 eggs beaten. There's only 1 cup of flour to 2 cups of brown sugar. Ooh, I have one called the Maine Way, and it has crazy, Maine. Oh man, well, Maine is the south of the north. My sister lived in Maine for many, many years, and they always referred to Maine as the south of the north. Are you familiar with that, Dawn? You probably are, if you're from the Maine area. Sugar coma, I know. I can't imagine. 1 cup of flour. 1 cup of flour to 2 cups, and it's all Oleo. Ugh. Oh, never heard of that. Are you from the Maine area? Maybe, I don't know. That cucumber eggs. Peggy's pig eggs. All right. Oh, here's some of the, let's see. Here is the typical refrigerator for the white trash cookbook. I got a big old bottle of Tab in there. There you go. Got to have some Rotel. Here's the stove. Let's see, Collins hot coffee, Mount Olive. I wonder if Hot Coffee the name of a town? That's what it looks like. That's interesting. There you go. Actually, I had a colander that looked just like that. And it was missing a couple of legs. I got rid of it when I moved to Florida. I figured I didn't need to take that with me. Yeah, I'm a Mainer. Okay, but you have never heard. Well, maybe Maine is the south, the north of the south is a thing for that non-Mainers say. Here are some of the good old gals. And they don't have no appliances on the porch. Oh, look at those peaches, though. Oh, man. How many of you here have ever had a tree ripened peach? I mean, right off the tree, where the peach fuzz is so fuzzy that it feels like, it feels the peach fuzz feels like insulation. It's so fuzzy, and you get that peach fuzz, like you're swinging it in your arm, and it's like you just got some insulation on you. Yep, you lived in orchard country. I did too. Yep, nothing like it. He was chuckling listening to your taxi story. Yeah, yeah. I worked on a 2,000-acre orchards in outside of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah, apple picking, peach. Yeah, yeah. We used to actually have to thin the peach. And the peach, the whole season, when the peaches come in, they grow, and they come in clusters, and they're about the size of golf balls. And they're all in like clusters, and we would go through with a team of migrant laborers, and you go through and you would thin out the peaches. You would literally pluck out a few of the peaches to make room so that the peach could grow larger. But you if you didn't thin them out, then you wouldn't get that many peaches. So it's a whole process that you go out and go through the orchards and thin out the peaches. And yeah, the fresh, cherries. We had cherries, Montmorency and Bing and all of those. They grew those in Gettysburg too. And so you get all this peach fuzz all over you, and it would be sweaty, and you have a colander like that. See, that's a classic. I don't have a metal colander anymore, but that is a classic. That is a classic piece of, and I don't really, can you see that? There's a rolling pin. I've got a rolling pin like that with the red handles, the wooden ones with the red handles. That was my grandmother's. And look at that egg beater. The old, that's a classic piece of equipment there. They just don't make them like that anymore. You think your dad still has that colander? I'm sure he does. It won't rust out, right? Yep. We have gone some cherry picking. Yeah, cherry picking is fun. Absolutely. And Angie, hi Angie. I didn't see you come in, and she's still here eating. Good. I missed what you're eating. I hope you're eating something good. So anyway, that's the White Trash Cookbook. Aunt Ida's Orange Marmalade. I just bought some orange. Green pepper jelly. Aunt Will's Plum Pudding. And the red handles. Yeah, I have one. It was my grandmother's. My grandmother was a great pie maker. Oh, man. And, you'd have to watch her. You'd ask her for the recipe, and she really didn't have a recipe. She made pie crust by feel, and she'd start kneading that dough, and she'd have like a glass of ice water next to her, and would be she'd add a couple of drops of ice water, and then couple of more drops of ice water, never anything measured. And then all of a sudden she had this beautiful flaky pie crust, which was made with Crisco, not lard. She used Crisco. And she used to bake pies for the local nunnery. There was a convent in Mary Lou's not here, but in East Warwick, Rhode Island. And she would bake a couple of pies a week for these nuns. And I visit her in the summertime. I would just sit at the kitchen table watching her make her pie crust. Yep. Bake the same way, no measuring. Always. I have a really good pie crust recipe, but it's kind of a cheater recipe. But the end result is really good. It's an odd recipe in that you take a half a cup. Let me get this right. A half a cup of milk and a quarter cup of Wesson vegetable oil. And it's a Wesson vegetable oil recipe. It originated with them. So it's like a half a cup of milk and a quarter cup of Wesson oil. And you have to roll it out between two pieces of wax paper because it's pretty oily, but it bakes a really flaky, no-fail pie crust. I mean, I haven't made it in years, but it's an odd combination. You wouldn't think of mixing milk and Wesson oil, but it was a Wesson oil recipe. So anyway, wow, you guys are still hanging out. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. But I think that I really have nothing. I mean, I feel embarrassed to show you another one of these books, but I mean, I can show you. I used to make pies in school. Oh, can't remember how you did it? Yeah. Well, a lot of people buy the Pillsbury already made pie crusts, which are not bad in a pinch. They really aren't. They'll do the, you know. But nice when oh, thank you, Janet. When my grandmother would make them, there'd always be, even when I would make pies, there would always be that yuck. Um, okay. Oh, you're talking yuck about not this, but yuck about the yeah, the Pillsbury, whatever the box, that comes in the box. Yeah. Um, like there would always be some pie dough left over, and you remember grandma would roll that out and sprinkle some cinnamon sugar on it and kind of bake that in the oven too, and you'd have like a little cinnamon, almost like cookie. That was the good stuff that you get to eat, when she was baking their pies. And I don't think they had those. No, probably not. I think that's a relatively new product. But yes, pie crust cookies. There you go. That makes sense. That's exactly what they were, pie crust cookies. And you kind of, it was basically, it was a small batch. It was a small batch of cookies. Let's see, I can decorate cakes. Oh, okay. And I was the only one. Oh, good for you. Did you use one of those piping bags, everything like the piping bags and piping all of the neat stuff? Because, man, that is an art in itself. That's for sure. No, you didn't waste any of that. That was good eats for sure. Yeah, grandma, I guess all our grandmas kind of did that. Yeah, kind of fought over those. And of course, the old, licking the bowl, when baking a cake from scratch, and you're licking the mixers and the paddles and licking the bowl. And my friend and I, we would make Toll House chocolate chip cookies just for the sole purpose of eating the dough raw. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, that's horrible. It's got raw egg in it. But we would eat, the raw dough and never got sick. And now they make cookie dough ice cream. Who would have thunk when we were making a Toll House cookie dough to eat raw, that one day it would be a flavor in ice cream? I never, ever in a million years thought that was going to happen. My grandmother never showed cook on food. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I watched my mom cook. My mom was an excellent cook. Oh my God. And we ate kind of stuff that nobody in the neighborhood. We were eating Mexican food and tacos and stuff like that way before anybody on the East Coast had ever heard of a taco. My father had been stationed at Coronado in San Diego in the Navy. And when they moved east to New York on Long Island, no one knew what a taco was. They'd never heard of a taco. So we were eating Mexican food and, well, Tex-Mex food, I guess, and tacos and stuff growing up. Indian curry. Mom used to make Indian curry, so we would be eating Indian curry and all sorts of exotic things. And my classmates had never heard of any of this food. Let's see. I never had a taco until you were a teen. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a thing. And now, there's Taco Bell and all of that neat stuff. Let's see. When I was a kid, we dough bellies. Oh, that's interesting. When I was a kid, we'd bake scraps of dough. Oh, that's well. During World War, here's your little history lesson for the day. During World War I, they called the American soldiers doughboys. And there are several stories as to why they were called doughboys. One is that the buttons on their uniforms kind of looked like little loaves of bread. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they were known as doughboys. So maybe it came from dough bellies. Yeah, we have Taco Tuesday now. Yeah, I mean, who now we have Taco Bell here, but I have to say, for my taste, I think the best fast taco to go place is it was a franchise called Jack in the Box. And I think it's a California. Maybe Barb is still here. She can ascertain. Okay, well, you were in high school, so it's still relatively, yeah. And it was called Jack in the Box, and they had the best tacos around, and they were big tacos. I mean, they were not the little tiny tacos, but and the name of the franchise was Jack in the Box, and there was one out on Long Island. So I guess Taco Bell is relatively new. Now, Taco Bell, you still have Jack in the Box. Okay, I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was a California company, but I could be wrong. I mean, they had one out on Long Island, Brentwood, Long Island. That was, I remember where it was. And we used to go there. And have you ever done this? I mean, I haven't been through a drive-through. I can't remember the last time I've been through a drive-through. But the funniest thing in the drive-through is if you watch the people like in front and watch all their hand motions when they're ordering food. It's pretty funny. Let's see, Virginia 70s, many 4 a.m. Jack in the Box drive-throughs. All right, Tammy. I don't know. I mean, I remember them out on Long Island. Let's see, my mom and dad, younger brothers, when I was 11, invented recipes. That's good. And yeah, I tell you. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, my kids grew up with kind of a very eclectic, menu also. And, all we required of them was to just try it once. Just try it. You don't have to eat it all. Just taste it. And as long as they tasted it, that was fine. And then if they didn't like it, out came the good old Cheerios, because I don't know what I would have done without Cheerios. Let's see. Jack in the Box. If you've been drinking, well, yeah, that's kind of that works too. Yeah, because they were open into the wee hours of the morning. Yeah. The McDonald's aren't open that late, but I can remember hitting McDonald's after a few and just, slobbering down a Big Mac. But I can't remember the last time I had a McDonald's or I've been to a fast food restaurant. I just never even think of it. Now, when we lived in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, we were real snobs. We would get our hamburgers at Wendy's, but then go across the street and get McDonald's French fries, because we liked the McDonald's thin French fries better than the Wendy's. So we'd have a Wendy's hamburger and McDonald's French fries in a Volkswagen, in a bug, not a bus. You must have looked like the Volkswagen Bug in the circus when all the clowns come out, right? 10 people in a bug. Yeah, Cheerios. Yeah. Now I buy bulk Tasty Oats. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm thinking, Taco Bell, Big Mac. Let's see. We ate at a Jack in the Box when Dad was stationed in Malibu missile site. That was the late 60s and 70s. So they've been around. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm only thinking, you like the Wendy's fries? I can't remember the last time. No Big Macs for you, right? Okay. Interesting. This is kind of like a foodie walk down memory lane food experience extravaganza. But Jack in the Box. And then let's take it. I don't know how many of you remember the old Howard Johnson's restaurants. And they would have fried clams on Wednesdays, and they would fry up the clam bellies. Oh, talk about good eats. Got to be the bellies. And that was a specialty, at least at the Howard Johnson's restaurant out on Long Island. We'd have the fried clams, and that was always really good too. And then when we moved up to Western New York, Southwestern New York, I had never heard of Friday night fish fries. And that was a thing, and I guess it is a thing, but I was never familiar with a Friday night fish fry, which was huge where we lived. We lived south of Buffalo, and every single restaurant had, fish fries on Friday nights. Yeah, the full belly clams. Yep, the real deal. Yep. Grilled chicken chalupa. Okay. Now the chalupa, that's a roll thing? Is that a flour dough? It's a Catholic thing. Yeah, I figured it was a Catholic thing on during Lent, but this is year round. Let's see, fish and chips. Yes, Fridays in Massachusetts. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. My fish and chips, and I like malt vinegar on my French fries with the chips. See, and it's good Mexican food. Well, apparently, wherever Angie is, she has a good Mexican restaurant that she can walk to because she's always talking about going to this Mexican restaurant. And good Mexican food. Yep. Yeah. Oh, and El Paso. Yeah, that's got to be that's got to be A&W's. Yeah. Oh, it's like a fluffy. Okay, it's like a fluffy taco. Okay, I've seen the ads for them, but I wasn't sure what it, exactly what it was. Yeah. Good Mexican food. Roll down your window and they would roll. Oh, come on. Really? I mean, that's like from the 50s, isn't it? Yes, Arthur Treacher's. I remember. Wasn't Arthur Treacher's, wasn't he Merv Griffin's sidekick on Merv Griffin's show? Witchy. Who's Witchy? Hi, Witchy. Oh, Amy. Hi. Right? Amy, am I right? Is it Amy? Did I remember that right? Laura. Okay. Sorry. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. And let's see. We're taking a walk down Food Lane. It's about a block away, so you can walk. It's right now a getaway. But you must have eaten everything on that menu, Angie. I bet you could probably have that menu memorized. Yeah, we had a couple of not franchise Mexican restaurants, but mom and pop Mexican restaurant here that was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think another, then Hubster coming back and smoking out the kitchen with his cooking. Oh my gosh. Now you've had to escape upstairs. No, you haven't? Well, you're probably, summoned me with fish and chips. My ears were burning. Yeah, I tell you. There was a great fish and chips place that I went to in London a couple of times, and it was called the St. George, and it was in the Russell Square area of London. And I actually had been to London 3 different times in my life, and every single time I went to London, it was still there. I mean, the last time I was in London was a long time ago, and they had, fish and chips. And I worked in a restaurant. We did fish fries, and I was the fish fryer. And it was, we would take fresh cod, and we had a beer batter, and I would make the beer batter from scratch. I'd go out to the bar and pull off a pitcher full of beer, and then to the beer, a dozen eggs would go into that, and then enough flour to give you like a pancake batter consistency. And that was the beer batter we used at the restaurant. And you would take that fresh cod and dip it in flour and then dip it in the batter and put it in the fryer. There we go. Fish fry. And I think it was $4.99. I'm sure it's not $4.99 now. In London, yeah. Fish and chips wrapped in newspaper with some malt vinegar. Good stuff. Yeah, I go to the club because it's here. It's convenient. And I take my friends down to the club, and I have a minimum. Okay, Barb. You got to hit the grocery store? Yeah. I go about once a month now. and it's almost a traumatic experience. It really is, because I only go once a month, and it's, yeah, I hear you. It's no longer any fun. Not that it ever was fun, but have a safe shop and have a good time shopping if that's at all possible. The place was a fishmonger by day and a fishing. Well, I was. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how fresh that fish must have been. That is, whoa. That sounds really good. Wow. Right. Yeah. Yep. Well, the club here, again, I have a minimum that I have to spend X amount of money there, and it's like a, well, it's they treat it like a, like a club, private club. No, it is. And I used to be very upset about that because they had a captive audience. They didn't really have to put out a good product because everybody living here had to spend X amount of dollars there at the club. And but I'd say over the last year, they've gotten a new chef, and the food has gotten really remarkably better. So I'm not bitching about it as much. The only problem now, and I shouldn't be bitching, that now it's a lot busier than it ever used to be, because guess what? The food's better. So more people are showing up. So, all righty. Now, what did you have leftover chicken, Becky, or did you cook chicken specifically for your pot pie? Because a lot of times I would make turkey pot pies or chicken pot pies when I had leftover chicken. 3 restaurants in town. 2 Americanized, one pretty good. Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the best way to use leftover chicken or turkey. I'd cook up some potatoes and dice those up, and add some carrots and celery, and yeah, it's good stuff. Oh, roasted. Yep. Those whole roasted chickens, at least at the Publix where I shop, they are to die for. They are really, really good. And of course, the price is going up on those. But I tell you, for me, it's a whole slew of meals, and you can get it, marinated and brined and whatever. Oh, veggies on the side. Oh, so your pot pie is. I used to make it in individual. I had like little individual like casserole dishes, like oblong ones, where I'd put crust on the bottom and the mixture. I'd make a roux, make the whole thing, and then put a crust on top, so it actually looked like a pot pie. Oh, that's not bad. And the Mexican dip, is that like a pureed beans and salsa type of, or is it just salsa? Angie's saying when she goes to the Mexican, she gets the dip and tea, and it's $6. And you could probably make a whole, okay. You make a whole casserole. Yeah, okay. Then you can make a meal of the dip and an iced tea. That's a good deal. Yeah. That's really a good deal. Now we're all getting hungry. Hungry. Spanish dip. Okay. All right. I have no idea I'm trying to think what would be in a Spanish dip. Not Mexican. So Mexican and Spanish are 2 different things. Really, there's really nothing similar between Spanish and Mexican. Pork chops. All right. That's good. See, they've bred the fat out of pork. It's not, pork chops. And my mother used to cook a roast loin of pork on Sunday, and those things had lots of nice fat. And then, she'd have it on a rack, and the pork drippings would drip down into the sauerkraut. And but they've made pork the other white meat. We already have one white meat. Why do we have to make pork into another white meat? Just saying. Oh, it's a spinach thing. Okay. All right. Metal recycling site has been on fire again near me. Ooh, that can't be good for the air quality. Puerto Rican food. Yeah. That's not really similar to Tex-Mex either. And Mexican food is very regional. I mean, if you go to Mexico and, Northern Mexico's menu and diet and food is going to be totally different than when you go to Southern Mexico. I mean, it's all different, just like here, you know, Southern cooking versus New England, right? Oh, okay. You bought pork. You don't eat any of that meat. You don't. Are you a vegetarian, Gail? I can't eat the garbage they call. Oh, at Sam's Club. Yeah, yeah, Sam's Club. I understand their food. It's, I mean, their meat, their steaks and their meat are really good. Yeah, all life is precious unless it's delicious. You had me, Laura. You had me. I'm saying, okay. I respect that. Okay. Semi. Yeah, I was a vegetarian for, and we were vegetarians for a couple of years. I've got a couple of really, again, that small collection of cookbooks I have. I've got a couple of little paperback cookbooks, vegetarian ones that I brought down with me. Um, and one is called Diet for a Small Planet. That's a really good one. Excellent vegetarian cookbook. Diet for a Small Planet. And yep, there you go. Forks Over Knives is awesome. I still have to make that black bean mango. I have some friends that are going to come visit me. This couple. I was on the island of Mallorca with them for a year, and so they're going to come and visit me, and I'm going to be making a couple of those recipes because they will love them. And it's hard for me to cook those recipes. There's only me, and even if I cut them in half, that's still a lot of food. So I'm looking forward to making the mango and black bean. And there's a couple of other ones that, Becky bought this cookbook. Let me back up real quickly. Becky bought this cookbook, Forks Over Knives. Then she started making these recipes. And then I bought the cookbook, and she was kind of like Mikey. I would have them, you try it first. So she would cook these recipes, and she'd say, this is a good one. And I would make it. And of course it was delicious. So I let Becky kind of would make them, and then I would copy her. Yeah. And the recipes make a lot, but it's a very interesting, yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. And I ended up by accident, I bought the book that explains the whole theory behind it, not the cookbook. And so I had to go back and buy the cookbook. Yes, very labor intensive and a lot of ingredients. I went out and bought a mortar and pestle because I didn't have one. Some of the recipes, maybe one, I don't know, two calls for a whole cumin seeds. And I have the pestle, and I'm smashing and grounding the whole cumin seeds with the mortar and pestle. And again, very labor intensive, that's for sure. Very, very labor intensive stuff. But good, but lots of ingredients. Lots of ingredients. Yeah, you toast this, yep, and then grind them, yep. I have a beautiful mortar and pestle, but it's so heavy I can barely lift it. I mean, I could kill somebody with it or break a couple of fingers if but it's good stuff. Yes. And thank you. And I think with that reminder, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this afternoon. This was an unexpected turn of events, but I think I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. I always love sharing some of my stuff, and I really enjoy chatting with you. And Janet has reminded that Carol will return Friday morning at 9 a.m. for Fiber Art Friday. So get your fibers out and get your threads and needles and pins and all that fibery stuff. And Becky will be here at high noon tomorrow. And we're going to be, oh no, we're going to be doing the collage thing tomorrow, or, oh my gosh, aren't you? Right? Okay. I was shooting off my mouth saying, oh, I'll show it to you next week. I'll have it done. And the thing I thought I was going to do, that I wanted to do with me, the harvesting of the magazine on Sunday. I think I chewed off more than I can paste, so to speak. And yeah, it's not happening. I can work on it. I have a dentist appointment at 3, but the dentist is 10 minutes away. So I don't want to go anyway. Who wants to go to the dentist? Gail is all, stressed out. Has anybody ever said, and then I'll say goodbye, has anybody ever said, oh, goody, I'm going to the dentist? Nobody. Nobody. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. It's never pleasant. It always hurts, and it's expensive. So what's there to like about going to the dentist? Nothing. Not a nilch. And with that happy note, open wide and say bye. No, thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. And have a good evening, and see you at Becky's high noon tomorrow. And get your harvested pages out. Okay, let me see if I can end this broadcast, because last time I didn't. All right, end broadcast. Bye. And end. And